On tonight's show, we have Standup Comedian Nema Katt. And now for your host, KoolKard. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 61. Welcome to Kickin with KoolKard. I am your host, KoolKard. Thank y'all for tuning in. If this is your first time tuning in, I do invite you to subscribe so I can continue bringing you the value that I'm going to bring you tonight. All right. Last week we had Nina. I'm sorry, I'm messing up her name. Hold on. Who did we have last week? We had Nina Lauren. There we go. I'm tripping. She going to kill. We had Nina Lauren. She's an event specialist. She's been doing like private parties and just making like fantasy lands for people who have birthdays, whatever occasion you might have. She is your girl. She could do a thing. She's also a realtor, so she could sell you some property too. All right, so we brought her on. She was kicking that knowledge, kicking that game, giving me that value last week on episode 60. But this week, we're going to laugh a little bit. All right, we're going to laugh a little bit. We got a comedian in the house. She goes by the name of Nema Katt. And she's also something else too. I'm going to let her talk about that as well. But she's doing a thing. Very funny personality. Yeah, that's all I can say, man. Very funny, very charismatic personality. She's a trip. She's a trip. Yeah, go by the name of Nema Katt. We're going to get into it. Bring her in with a nice KoolKard welcome. And let's dig into her brain. Let's go, y'all. Oh, wow. Welcome to the show, Nema Katt.
Thank you for having me.
Oh,
That's the most explicit joke that I've ever told.
Hey, I grabbed what I could. I wanted to showcase you in the best light.
Okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh man, well yeah, I want to thank you for coming on. I know it's past your bedtime. You know, you staying up to kick it with your boy.
Yeah. I'm not supposed to tell people it's my bedtime. I will be up to 3 a.m. every night. It's nothing. I do this. What we say, no sleep. Don't tell people.
I mean, listen, you do stand up. How you go to bed early? Stand up. The show.
Stand up. I have to get my beauty sleep.
See. when you're not working, you're in bed, right?
Yes. When I'm not working, I'm putting in work. Okay. Yeah.
I feel you. All right, so let's get into your life. Not your personal life. We don't do that here. I just I want you to shed some light on people who may be interested in doing what you're doing, and I want to get into your profession. You got two, right?
I do.
Am I correct on that?
You are correct.
All right.
Correct. I would say I'm in two different industries.
Okay.
Because I do a lot of things. So yeah, two different industries.
So so my biggest question for you is, and what people don't know is she's a medical doctor. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yes.
And for some that may be surprising, and maybe it may sound a little unorthodox. You're doing comedy, you're doing these skits that are kind of edgy, and then in the daytime you're a doctor, right?
I am.
So reflect on that, because I want to know, this is what I want to know. How did you choose or decide that you were going to do both? Because a lot of people will say, you know what? I'm going to leave my 9 to 5. I'm going to leave my day job. I'm going to leave my profession. And I'm going to go chase this dream. And you're holding down both and doing them very well. So kind of reflect on how that all came about for us.
Well, I mean, I guess like any other Black parents, or any parents for that matter, you want your kids to go to school, become a professional, secure the bag, have a future. So I went to medical school. I went to undergrad, and then I went to medical school. And as soon as I graduated, I jumped on stage and started doing comedy. So I don't know. It's not that I don't feel like people ask me all the time, which one are you going to do? What are you going to choose? And I don't feel like I have to choose. I feel like they both just develop naturally in my life. No? So, yeah.
Yeah. They coexist, and you're making it work. See, that's the main thing with people, they feel like two things can't work together sometimes. They think things can't mesh. They can't do it simultaneously. But if you make it work and figure it out, it can.
I'm sorry, guys. Honey, can you please come shut this door and try to make as least noise as possible? Thank you. Sorry, guys.
It's all good. It's the KoolKard show. We just kicking it here. It's all organic.
At home.
Hey.
So yeah, I mean, a lot of people feel like it can't exist, but part of what I do when I know you ask, I hope I'm not like jumping over any of your questions, but you asked me, how do I actually practice medicine and do stand-up comedy? I don't practice medicine. It depends on what you call practicing medicine.
Okay.
I stopped practicing with patients last February when COVID was announced because my husband is at risk. So I stopped practicing with patients. And during that time, I had already been doing comedy, but during that time, I just kind of let everything flow the way that it flows. I didn't really concern myself with why am I not working in medicine. I actually started teaching medical students full time. So that's things that I do. So if that's considered practice in medicine, that's how I use my medical degree.
Okay.
But I mean, I don't know. I don't feel like you have to choose. And I worked in psychiatry, for anyone that wanted to know. One of the things that I feel like causes neurosis or these mental disorders, if it's not just like naturally you're born with it or whatever, is that we worry too much. We put too much on ourselves, too many boundaries and expectations of when do I have time to do this, when do I have time to do that, and that's what causes the anxiety, depression, and I don't want to say schizophrenia because who knows that, but definitely depression and anxiety is caused by just worrying ourselves to death. And I'm not an advocate of worrying yourself to death. I like to just let things happen. Okay,
so you're the person that they can come and talk to.
Well, I'm the person. So people get psychiatrists and psychologists / therapists mixed up.
Break it down.
Treat mental health disorders. So chemical imbalances, schizophrenia, depression, anxiety. We treat like when you can't help yourself.
Okay.
When you want to talk to, that's a therapist.
Okay.
And a psychologist is someone who studies human behavior. So those are like three different things that cross over into the same category. It gets complicated, but I'm a psychiatrist, which is a medical doctor, MD. So no, you have a limited amount of time to talk to me before I give you a prescription.
Okay. So let me ask you this. So when you were working with patients, so to speak, right?
Right.
Did it ever become a conflict with you doing comedy? Did anybody ever recognize you from, say, social media? And if they did, how did that work? And was it a conflict of interest with your colleagues or your job? Like, did they know and did they find out or speak on it?
No. I actually did have a mentor who knew that I do stand-up comedy, and she actually came to my show, and she's very supportive, and she's a psychiatrist, so hello to you, doctor. But none of the people I worked with knew what I did, and if they did, so what? If you don't want me, this has been a common conflict since social media, since the age of social media. If you don't want me to work for your company because of my passion and what I do and the joy that I bring to the world and what it gives to me, then I shouldn't be there. There recently was a medical student. She was a pharmacy student, and I think she was expelled from school because of her social media, and it really wasn't it. So I'm a huge advocate of letting professionals be who they want to be in their personal lives and letting them be amazing professionals when they get to work. And that's how we cut down on some of the suicide rates, which are really, really high in the medical profession. And I think this is why. So I'm, as a person who is a mental health enthusiast and advocate, I will not give in to that type of pressure of compromising who I am in my personal life with my professional life. I don't really do that.
So you said the suicide rate is high in the medical professional field, right? Is that because of the pressure and what they kind of try to hold themselves up to, the standards, or what?
You would have to ask the people who committed suicide, but
Well, I'm just saying, just being in the field, do you feel like there is pressure to be a certain way, to carry yourself a certain way?
absolutely, absolutely, I think so. And people, a lot of times, these stories that we hear about of medical professions who commit suicide, they'll always say, "Oh my God, John Doe was the greatest person ever, always smiling, always on time, always dependable, great at his job, his or her job," because women commit suicide too. And that's always the story about these people. It's never, yeah, they were depressed and they were wilding out on social media. It's always they were pristine and great employees, and boom, they end their life because they can't sustain that type of behavior. And if you think about medical school, people do expect you to act a certain way, and then you go, they want you to act a certain way, and then you get a job and they want you to act a certain way. Before you know it, you've given 20 years of your life to this profession with minimal appreciation. So I do think it leads to suicide rates in medical professions.
Minimal appreciation, and then minimal, I guess, satisfaction too, because now you can't really, how can you be satisfied in what you're doing when you're not really being yourself, or you feel like you can't be yourself?
Yes, exactly. And that is why I don't know if I'm the only doctor or MD who is an advocate of being yourself on social media and in your personal life, but that is one of my main platforms. I don't care if I ever practice, I'm still going to stand up for what I think is right, which is that let people be people.
Yeah. And I mean, in society's eye too, you know, they kind of hold them up to a different standard as well. Doctors, lawyers, judges, whatever, any public official, you know, you look at them and you don't expect to see them on social media doing certain things. So I myself, I love it when I can see a person who doesn't let their profession define who they are or define their character or alter their character. You know what I mean? Right. And then you know, you got these dentists on TikTok, they're dancing and they're doing all the latest dances, and you know what I mean? Just like news anchors or whatever it is. I love it. I love it.
And these professional institutions have to catch up with the times.
Yeah.
It's like I mean, I can only speak for myself. I'll twerk, but twerking is it's part of my culture. So for you to tell me not to twerk or not to listen to rap music or not to speak in a certain vernacular, you're asking me to disassociate from my culture and from people that I need to surround me to feel whole and fulfilled. And we all know in the medical profession that's not healthy. So.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, man. Kudos to you though, for real, for just being you. Like, I love it. Like, I love your feed. I love all the skits that you guys do, and you know what I'm saying, with all the other actors and comedians around town that you work with. Like, I love it. You know what I'm saying? And when I found out that you were a doctor, I was like, wow, I love it even more. You know what I mean? Because it's like you're really just being yourself, and you know, you leave that over there, and you got this over here, and you're doing your thing.
Yeah, I definitely don't joke about medicine at all. I don't crack jokes when I'm at work. When I'm at work, I like to describe it as, well, I used to like to describe it as like Clark Kent versus Superman. Like, you put that white coat on and you become a completely different person. You do become your profession.
Yeah.
But you work, so that's okay. You become superhuman, and every person, every patient that's in front of you, that's the most important thing to you. But when you take that off, go home, now you have to be the most important thing to you. So that's
Absolutely.
it.
Absolutely.
Work. I will not ever talk about a patient or what's going on at my job on stage. Completely separate.
Yeah. That's dope. Let's talk about, I read that you kind of had a run-in with Chris Rock, like one of your first times back, right? One of your first times back on stage, ran into Chris Rock, spent some time with him. How did that impact your career and moving forward?
It definitely encouraged me to keep going. Like, that was either my first or my second time on stage in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, wait, this is your first time on stage and you get to meet like the greatest to ever do it. One of the greatest to ever do it. And at least the greatest of my time. Growing up, I've been watching Chris Rock since I was a wee bit. So it just told me, like, you're in the right place and this is the right time. Don't give up, just keep moving forward. Like, who does that happen to?
I know.
I went on stage, and actually it was Lil Rel who was like, that was funny, you were great. The reaction of the crowd is amazing. I want you to meet somebody. And I was like, oh, I'm about to go. And he was like, no, I want you to meet somebody. You're gonna want to meet them. Stay here. And like 2 minutes later, Chris Rock come walking in the door. We're at the table. It's just me, my friend Chris Rock, and Lil Rel. And it was just like, how did I get here? But I don't know. But I'm pretty sure there's like bigger things in store for me. So that was.
Listen, when you're walking down that right path, God's gonna show you all the signs. He's gonna show you all
the signs.
You know what I mean? And you just take that for whatever it's worth to you, and you run with it. Yeah, That's dope. That's dope. So what is your creative process like?
Oh my God. So I have always wanted to be a comedian since I was a little kid. So once I got to like college, I would like joke around with my friends and just crack up with them all the time. But then I actually started writing down notes for like things that I thought were funny. I didn't write jokes.
Okay.
Just whatever I thought was funny. And I had been doing that ever since I was maybe like a junior in undergrad. And so the first time I got on stage in Atlanta, I was completely like not prepared, but I had all these notes in my phone. So I was like, oh, y'all doing stand up here? Let me get on stage. I can do this. And they was like, all right, you want to go first? I was like, no. They was like, you want to go second? I was like, second or third. And while it was almost my time, I just looked at those little things that I thought were funny and got on stage and talked about them naturally. Now, now I try to put more like techniques into it. So I'll watch some of my favorite comedians and I'll break down the structure of their joke.
Okay.
And then implement that with my own joke, with my own words, but I'll just use the same structure. So that's my problem.
So would you say like doing the skits and stuff keep you kind of on your toes?
No.
Keep you witty? No, it's just something to do?
Yeah, it's just something to do. I started doing stand-up long before I did skits, and then someone invited me to do a skit. So I do them every now and then, but that is definitely not my passion. It is not where my talent lies. My talent is on the stage doing stand-up.
So how do you book your gigs? Do you do it yourself? Do you have someone that you work with?
A little bit of both. I mean, a lot of representation have reached out to me to represent me, but most of the time, comedy is more of it's more of a like who you know, who you get, who knows you type of thing. You don't really need I'm not big enough to need a manager or an agent. Let me say that. So at this point, people just call me directly, and then I have a manager if I need to put someone on like an application or something.
Okay. Now, so if you ever book like say a national tour, would you leave behind your quote unquote day job?
I don't think I would have to, because I make my own schedule. This is my office in my home, but I teach. So I teach virtually medical students all over the world. Sometimes they're already doctors. So no, I don't think I would have to. There's no comedy going on at 8 in the morning. And a lot of my clients are 6 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m., very early in the morning. So I don't think I would have to. Okay. No.
Well, so what if that morphed into a huge acting career and you're always on set? You would just do it while you're back, while you're holding? Yeah,
I would take breaks to pursue bigger projects, but I would never leave medicine behind. That's my, I don't know. They say do something for money, do something that keeps you in shape, and do something that makes you happy. And medicine is like two of those things. It makes me money, but it makes me happy too. It brings me like a lot of joy. So I don't think I could ever walk away from medicine.
Okay, dope. So out of all the comedians that you shared the stage with, that opened up for, who would you say kind of impacted you the most? Like, who left a lasting impression on you?
On the stage, I don't know, but let me think. I work with. What do you mean? I'm
gonna break it down for you. I'll make it a little bit easier. Of all the comedians that you work with, who would you say was who's the most humble?
the most humble was definitely Mark Curry. And I mean, he is a giant in the comedy world. He's had TV shows, he's done everything, movies, he's done everything you could think of. And he was doing this in the early 90s, but he is the cool guy, like the most down to earth and to everyone, not just his fellow comedians, but he's down to earth to everyone. But I also have to mention, I'm having a brain fart and I don't even want to say his name because people are going to murder me for not being able to say his name this quickly. But yeah, we're going to say Mark Curry. Mark Curry is the best. Shout out to Mark.
Okay. So who was the most wisest? Who was the wisest one that kicked a lot of game to you? And it could be him too. Because like you say, he's been in the game for the longest time, but
who kicked a lot of game to me? I think his name was Sherman Golden. He's on tour with Chris Tucker. Mm-hmm. And he definitely just took his time out to give me a few pointers about what I was doing, and we just had some very earnest conversations. So shout out to Sherman Golden. He was dope. But you know what? My computer's right here. Go ahead with your next question.
You about to look up some things?
No, because people are gonna kill me if you miss
some names.
Yes, and I can't
blame it on your mind, not your heart. You know how it goes.
Oh no! That you can't do that when it's a legend. Okay, I thought of it. I didn't even get to look it up. I thought of it. Paul Mooney.
Paul Mooney,
for him to be as huge as he is or was, just is, because it always is. He was humble and he spoke with me. To my understanding, he's experiencing like some form of like Alzheimer's or something. I don't know if he has Alzheimer's, but some kind of like loss of mental capacity. Mm-hmm. And but when I met him, he was lucid and he told me, "You're beautiful and stay strong in this industry because people are gonna hate on you just because you're funny and you're cute." And he was just so sweet. And I was like, no. At that time, I was so shy. I hated compliments. No, don't say that. And he was like, it's true. It's true. You know how he was?
Yeah.
So shout out to Paul Mooney. And that was a life-changing experience for me, too.
Like Nostradamus. All right, so who would you say was the funniest?
Oh, you mean like naturally funny?
Naturally funny, like backstage, off stage, when you guys are just talking regular. Who was the funniest? Who had the funniest personality?
Not gonna believe me, but honestly, the funniest person is Mark Curry. Oh my God. And man, that's why I say he's down to earth. He's cool and he's hilarious just without even trying. Every second is never serious. It's always a joke. It's always funny. Physical comedy, verbally, this man is just, he's a hoot, as the old people would say.
Yeah, that's dope that he's still touring too.
Yeah, he is still touring, and he needs to call me and put me on this tour.
Let's speak it into existence. Put it out there.
But I promise I'm not exaggerating, you guys. Mark Curry is the funniest person I've ever met. Just naturally on stage. He's fired.
We're gonna have to tag him when I put my little snippets of this out on Instagram. We're gonna tag him so we can try to get you on that tour when things open back up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Well, listen, I'm gonna kick it to a clip of you doing your thing so people can kind of understand what you're talking about here. All right? And then we gonna come right back. This is Nema, y'all, doing her thing on stage organically. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is what Nema Katt does. See, I make sure. Huh?
I said I'm so embarrassed.
Girl, please.
It's a different person. I don't know. Like, when you get on stage, it's like you have to be a badass. You got to come with all the energy. And off stage, I'm just like, oh my God, no, who's that?
Nah, but you do it well, so don't be shy about that.
Thank you.
Own that. So let's talk about some of the hurdles. Talk about some of the obstacles with comedy. What are they for you And not only, and you can speak from a woman's point of view, but then just as a comedic figure, what are some of the hurdles?
Well, I'm a woman, so probably gonna be from a woman's point of view. For me, I get a lot that sometimes people associate the way that I look with whether or not I'm funny. And it's not the audience. My fans, they're always like, you're hilarious. People chase me down after my show and say, I enjoyed your show. You're funny. You're hilarious. But I think there's always going to be some doubt amongst my peers to say, you're not that funny. You're just beautiful or fine. And I always think like, I'm not that beautiful. Like, you think I just get on stage and people are like, look at those dimples. Like, no, I'm like, I look okay. I'm funny. That's the difference. But definitely people are underestimating my talent because of the way I look. So that's one of the hurdles. Yeah.
I think everybody kind of goes through that, honestly, but I don't know. It's just weird, man.
And what's happening is that it becomes like a conversation amongst those people. And even so, some of your peers who may think you're funny are afraid to book you because then it's going to be like a rumor that maybe you like her, or maybe you have a crush on her, or you want to date her, and that's why you're working with her. Versus you think she's hilarious, and that's why you want to work with her. So that becomes an issue. But yeah, that's it. That's been my only.
So you mean to tell me people will actually pass over you for a show because of how they feel they may be looked upon?
I don't know. I wouldn't say that because I still got the shows, but but it creates rumors, is what I'm saying.
Okay, so, got you.
Because they're ridiculous. But I've heard rumors, and I was like, "What? Me? I've been married for 5 years. What are you talking about?" But
yeah,
and that's usually an issue, or that in my stand-up, in my skits, I utilize, my beautiful body because it's mine.
Yeah, of course.
I would be ignorant not to use this tool that's at my disposal. So people will try to say, you're not funny, you're just sexy, or you're just selling sex. And I'm like, well, sex is a part of entertainment.
Right.
Or sexiness. Let me not say sex because I don't sell sex. But a sexiness is an advantage that I have at my disposal, and I use it. But that doesn't mean what I did was not funny. It was still funny.
Yeah.
Period.
Listen, at the end of the day, man, the entertainment industry is messy. So just do you.
Do me and everyone else according to the rumors. Hi, guys.
Oh my God. Yeah, just do you. Hey, I on Instagram you put out the thing where you were saying like ask me some questions or tell me some questions you want answered, right?
Yes.
An interview. So somebody by the name of Slay_once was asking what was your nickname growing up, and if you didn't have one, what would you have nicknamed yourself?
Well, sir, I had numerous nicknames. And they were not good nicknames. So in school, everyone called me Bobblehead.
Why?
When I would run, I used to run track. I was a track star. And I would shake my head like this when I ran. So my name is Bobblehead since I was like in the 7th or 8th grade. And it followed me all the way throughout high school. But before that, as a kid, I'm a tomboy. Okay, let me put that out there. So even though I know how to be ladylike and use my woman, whatever, what is it called?
Attributes.
Yeah. I'm really a tomboy at heart. I'm an athlete. So my nickname as a child used to be Germ.
Oh, you were a little dirty kid.
Yeah, they called me Germ. And I could never stay clean. To this day, I can never stay clean. That was my Germ and Bobblehead. Even Little Dirty was one of my nicknames. So there you go. Germ, Little Dirty, Bobblehead.
Oh, wow. Well, listen, when you shook your head, did you win the races?
Every time.
Well, then hell, it don't matter then. They should have tried it.
Yeah, they loved it. It was a term of endearment. So
Oh, okay.
my friend's dad named me that. Hey, Mr. Tony Drake.
Bobblehead.
That was
Wow. So in this climate with this COVID thing, are you still doing shows? How's that working?
I was doing shows, but I am trying to complete one of the biggest projects. I just had a show a month ago.
Okay.
I'm trying to complete one of the biggest projects that I've ever done. I'm trying to start my line of study material for medical doctors or medical students, rather.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to give myself this whole first quarter of the year to get that produced and get that out on the market. So I'm trying to slow down on the shows. But if people call me and book me for a show, I'm gonna be there.
Hey, get that stuff, get that material out there, because that material will, yeah, you know what it is.
My life, yes.
Yeah.
Their children. So,
exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So sometimes we gotta step away to get it right, you know?
Yeah.
You know, make that foundation a little bit stronger, and then you get back at it.
Mm-hmm.
And it might help the creative process too, just stepping away, you know, living life.
It's hard to step away. It depends on what you call stepping away. It's so hard. I mean, daily I'm scribbling jokes or watching other comedians perform, and I don't think you ever step away. It's just.
No, that's what I mean. I mean, just not being on stage, but just being away from the stage, having that time to get the ideas, you know, the thoughts flowing and jotting them down.
Exactly.
And when you go back, you have an arsenal. Wow.
Exactly.
Might get you a Netflix hour-long show, girl.
I'm trying to tell you, hey, Netflix, I'm wearing your colors already.
Right. For sure. Well, listen, I wish you much success. I appreciate you coming on. I'm not going to hold you too long. I know you're trying to get to bed. I'm just messing with you. I got my own jokes. But nah, I appreciate you kicking it with your boy and, you know, sharing your life with us. You know what I'm saying? You got some people out here. What could you give to some aspiring comedians that are trying to do what you're doing and just want to go at it?
Get on stage. Just get up there and say whatever comes to your mind, and then don't stop. Keep getting on stage. That's how you be a comedian.
Dope. There's the value, y'all. Hey, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to another episode of Kickin with KoolKard. I am here every Tuesday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will have guests like Nema Katt coming on the show, giving you that value, giving you some laughs, and giving you some good life. All right. Until next time, y'all. Next Tuesday, you never know who I might have. Nema, once again, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Great having me. Everyone, follow me on Instagram at Nema Katt, on Facebook at Comedian Nema Katt. Subscribe to my YouTube, Nema Katt. And I'm everywhere. Just keep looking for me.
Yes, and your website.
Oh, www.nemakatt.com.
Yeah, and I'm at KoolKard. That's cool with a K, Card with a K, Instagram, wherever you can find me. Y'all follow, y'all subscribe. Hey, we're here and we're out. Thank y'all once again. God bless. Peace.